Hi, Julia Bell here again. We're picking up where we left off on the first video in Excel. We're still working on assignment 1A. And we're picking up at activity 110, changing the workbook theme. I now have it's got a nice pretty look to it. Notice all the blues, the darker blue and the blue line, the darker blues, the little numbers here and those lighter lines. We're going to go to the page layout tab. We're going to themes, and I'm going to pick retrospect. And don't worry if yours don't appear in order. They're sometimes in a crazy order. Just go looking for them. They're not in alphabetical. Here is retrospect. If you don't have retrospect theme, it's actually included in the download. So no worries there. I'm going to pick on that. Notice what happened. The dark blue lines, words are now green. The lines are now kind of orange pumpkin, kind of fitting for Halloween here. All right, so I've got the retrospect theme picked. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go to page 366. It's time for a chart. I'm going to select the range of A3 to D7. A3, and I'm going to go to D7. If yours doesn't look like that, you don't have everything that you need selected. Again, A3 down to D7. If you're asking why I selected the blank space, I had to select all that to get a set of contiguous data to build my charts. You never put totals of any kind in a chart, so that's why we made sure and avoid those totals. All right, at this point, I've highlighted A3 all the way down to D7. I'm going to go to recommended charts. Here it's got all kinds of them that they think the data might look nice in. About 1/3 of the way, and then click the second clustered column chart. Okay, there's a clustered column, and there's a second clustered column. So that's the one I want to end up with. At this point, I can tell it OK, and what's going to happen is it's going to insert that chart. Okay. Go to the next page. Take too many pages to describe that. Now what happened was it placed the chart at a really bad place because it's on top of my data, and no boss in the world is going to want to look at a chart like that. Okay, the chart's still selected. How I know this is those sizing handles are around it. So at the top, notice we've got some new tabs. These are contextual, which means they only appear when it relates to what you're working on. And I've got the chart selected right now. So I've got design and I've got format showing. You've got all kinds of neat things that you can do with these charts. And the book here is describing some of those great things that you can change. I'm going to go to the next page. Okay. All right, in the worksheet, locate the group of cells bordered in blue. Okay, I'm going to click right here and just move this over. If you click the wrong thing, just do undo and put it back. Now the blue is going to be the numbers that appear in the chart. They must have told me to flip something that I didn't flip. Okay. Okay. They did. Switch the row and column data. I'm supposed to have done that. Got it. There. Easy enough fix. So if yours doesn't have 3 sets of columns, yours has got 4, just click right there to switch that. I missed that in the deal, but easy enough fix. All right, next page. Okay, now in the Design tab, Chart Layouts, Quick Layout. Design, here is Quick Layout, and I can pull that up, and it's got some additional choices. And it lists some of those choices here. Point to several of the layouts in live preview and then click the click layout without making any changes, okay? So I could kind of hover over any of them. But as long as I don't click on one of them and I go back up here and just click on this, no change takes place. I'm originally the way I started and I've made no change. Click anywhere in the text chart title. See up here where it says the words? Now you can actually watch in the formula bar and type in a title. Type in the word second, S-E-C, and you're like, well, how did that happen? It looked on the sheet and it did an autocomplete. It saw that I had something with the word second in it, which was actually here, and it filled it in. Now, if you don't want that, you could type what you want. Press enter does a bad thing. I'm going to click over here to the right to actually accept that title. The book is really slow tonight, and I have a great internet connection. Okay, so notice now I've got that title at the top. I've still got these going on. Now, scroll the book over. To the right of the chart, select Chart Styles. You move the chart back over. So these, you've got a plus sign, you've got a style sign, and you've got the filter sign. So I'm going to click on the styles with a paintbrush, and you're going to see a list of predefined styles. Don't worry, you can make this as different as you like it, but here's some different styles they're recommending that just might fit the bill of what you're looking for. I want style 6. There's 1, 2, 3. There's style 6. The columns are a little bolder, the words are a little bigger, kind of gives it a little definition. Sometimes a little goes a long way. I can click on 6 and it makes the change permanent. You could also choose undo if you don't like it. Now, at the top of the gallery, you're going to see the word color. Here is color. Notice there's colorful, monochromatic, and then there's more things as you go down. Under colorful, you're going to point to the third row and display the screen tip color 3. So color 1, 2, 3. This is color palette 3. Click on that. Notice it changed. You had you didn't have the russet before, and the rust color, and the, I'm not sure what color of green you would call that. It's kind of a muted warm green without being overpowering. And you point to the top border of the chart and then drag the upper left corner of the chart to just inside the upper left corner of A10. We go to the next page. Okay, so it's going to position it here. Okay, we'll go right here. Oops, pick it up, kind of right in there, and drop it. Click any cell to deselect, so I could go right here and just get the focus off of that chart now. I'm going to go ahead and save at this point so that nothing happens. I'm now at number 13. Finally, we get to work with the spark chart. Sparkline chart's my favorite. All right. I'm going to select the range of B4 through D7. Here's 4. Here is, again, you never include totals when you're doing a chart. Only the individual numbers, not the total, because that's going to skew the whole output. So B4 through D7. That's all our monthly, individual monthly sales figures for each item. I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I'm going to choose under the Spark Lines group. I'm going to do Line. Now, let me move this up out of the way. So here's where I'm at right now. In the display, Create Spark Lines. Notice that the range is B4, D7, and it is. And it is. Now I need to tell it where to place it. So here's what I'm going to do. You can type it in if you want. You can click here and then go highlight it if you want. That works too. And click. I usually choose to do that. And then click OK. And is that not incredible? Just a couple little steps and you've built this phenomenal chart. All right. To insert the spark lines, now I want to put markers on those lines. Markers are kind of like individual points. All right, here's some of the choices that you've got. High, low, first, last. I want a marker. I'm not sure why I didn't click it again. Oh, there you go. Notice it put the little dots. And I don't see yet where they've chose pick a color. So if they don't choose to pick a color, we just take the first one that comes up. Of course. Design tab, style group, more. Of course, right here is more. Not only do we want it to be special, we're going to pick a very, very special kind. We want in the second row the fourth style. Row 1, row 2, item 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should say Sparkline Accent 4 Darker 25, and it does. Click on that one to make it take. Now it says press Control Home to deselect the range and make A1 the active range. We're going to try that. Control Home, voila, it takes me to the first. These are kind of cool. It's a little, why does it have 3 dots? I had 3 numbers for each line. So that's why there's 3 dots. All right, we're going to get to the next part. This is talking about printing the worksheet, displaying your formulas, and then closing Excel. All right, we're in cell A1. That's where we were. We're going to go Page Layout tab and then Page Setup. Here's your page layout. And then here is Page Setup. I'll go to the details. You can click on the top of this and move it. All right, we want to look at margins, which is here. Margins tab, center on page. Here you go. I'm going to go horizontally. Notice my diagram here. What's going to happen? Do you notice it kind of moved across a little to make sure that the items that I had were going to be focused on the center of the page, left to right. So I did horizontally, and here it's going to the next part. On the Page Setup Header Footer tab, here we go. Click a Custom Footer, Custom Header, Custom Footer. In the footer dialog, it's blinking in the left section, which is true. Insert file name. So I want to do that, which would be this one. So whatever name you've got it saved as, it's going to put this little code here, and it's going to read the name on the top and insert that. It says at this point, compare to make sure your screen looks okay. You're going to go out OK 2 times, OK, and 1 more OK. Looking good. Now, section 1.15. Going to go back to the File tab and the Backstage and Properties. Here is File. This whole area is called Backstage. We're going to show all properties here. We're going to the tags of cardio sales. Here are my tags. So I'll type in cardio sales. And now we want to look for subject. Here is status template. Where is subject here? Type in your course information and the section. This is INFS 1010. And if it's for the day class, it'd be section 12. The night class is 11. And the online is W92. So I'll just put in one of those numbers. And then just don't forget the author. Where is the author? Add an author. So I'm going to put in my name as the author. On the left, click Print to print preview and see what it looks like. So that'd be what it looked like. Down here's my footer. I have now got my chart here, my spark lines. Notice all the colors. At this point, I should look like this. Mine does, looking good. Make any adjustments if you notice something's wrong, and I don't. And at this point, don't worry about actually physically printing one, because I would lose it if you sent it. All right, and it tells you how to, you can go at this point, send it to a PDF if you need to. I don't. And then it says from the backstage view, you can print only a portion and select the range. Let me just go back out. There. Now, I can select A2 through F5. Here is A2 through F5. Maybe that's all I want, is a small amount. Exercise bikes and ellipticals. So that's all I highlighted. And I can do Control and F2 to look at it. Well, something happened there. Okay, my print preview is not working right. But it should only print preview these. I'm not sure why it's not. Changing page orientation. All right, you're going to go to Save again, which I did. We're going to go Formulas tab, Formula Auditing, and Show Formulas. Formulas. And then there is a Formula Auditing. Show Formulas is right here. Yours would appear left to right. Mine is kind of all squished up since I've got this on one screen so you can see it easier. And you're like, this looks horrible. The only reason you would send it like this is so that your professor could hand grade it and see how you came up with this. But since I'm not hand grading it, that's not an issue. But I would do it myself each time. When I ever get anything from students, I always in Excel look at the formulas. In the column headings in column A, display the down pointer. Column A, here you go. And it shows where that is. If you want to go A through F, whoops, there. I just highlighted across that selects everything top to bottom, no matter how many rows it goes down. And I'm going to point to the column boundary between any of the two columns and then double click to auto fit. And it picks each and every one and fits it to its very best fit all the way across. Made this one smaller because it didn't need to be bigger. It adjusted some of these others smaller or larger based on what they needed. Page layout, I'm going to go back to that. Page setup, here is layout. Here's your page setup. When we look at the orientation, which is here, I can choose landscape, and that flips it on its side. And I can choose to scale to fit. And the scale to fit is the width of one page. Fit to one page wide and one page total. Okay. So I've got that going. Now it's saying margins, custom margins. Let's go back to margins. And here are the different custom margins. I want to also be sure that checkbox is selected, which it is from before, to center it on the page. And click OK. Just a couple more things and you've finished 1A. Click any cell so that the chart is not selected. Okay, make sure the chart's not selected. And you're going to go to Control and F2 to go to Print Preview again. Notice it's now landscape orientation. Make sure and save it at this point, because now we've flipped the page. I'm going to go back and save it. It's ready to submit. I'm going to go back here. I'll close this. And oh yes, please do save it. Go back to my course materials. Go to here. You're going to choose the file. This one I put on the desktop. Here it is, and it was this one. I'm going to choose to upload it, give it a second, submit it for grading, and then I'll close the assignment. That's what I want to see. I made 100. The other one, the reason I had a 71 is I'd only finished up through through step 9. If you want to see what I got right or wrong, I'll go back to view submissions, those dots. Let's look at the one that had errors. I'll pick that one. Let me make this a little larger. Notice the grades are going along just fine until oh wow. I'm going to click that. You know what this tells me since the zeros start there? One of two things. I messed up something so poorly, so major here, or 110 is as far as I got. I know that that's as far as I got. So it tells me the things that I did not do so I can fix those and resubmit them. If you get home and realize, oh no, I lost my original, I submitted it before I left school, or the dog ate my USB drive, but I did submit it, you can download the original submitted file right here and make your changes. This has been Julia Bell, and I hope this helps you with your Excel. Don't forget to do 1B and the grader, and those will automatically grade as well. Have a great day.